welcome to the Post-Human Podcast.
Welcome to the Post-Human Podcast, folks. I'm your host, Tim Turner. Tonight we are here with TJ Gleason, podcast host and the president of TJTV. Let's whack that fucking note out of here. So how are you, my friend? I overspoke that so quick. Fucked up all my own words. But how are you?
I'm doing good. How are you? Thank you for having me.
No, it's very good to have you on. I normally I'd have a whole bunch of notes, but however, this show I don't. I'm just gonna jump in to what would essentially be the topic of the month, which is at the minute. I don't know what your thoughts are on aliens, but most of this show revolves around the supernatural, conspiracy theories, aliens, and obviously this month, well, actually yesterday, there was a congressional hearing in which, there was going to release certain amounts of information about UFOs. What's your thoughts on aliens?
I think they're real, and I don't know if you heard any of the news in the U.S., but I know the Pentagon released a lot of UFO videos, and actually I was on a radio show not too long ago. I called in. It was about this time last year, and I asked the host, I said, "Hey, what do you think about aliens?" And he said, "I don't think they're real, but I perhaps have seen some strange things in like the sky. Personally, my fiance and I, we've seen some, and I've seen videos as well, but I follow a guy on YouTube by Secure Team 10, and he does all alien news all the time."
You see, that's good because I ask every single guest. I've had guests from fucking so far 8 countries, and I ask every single person if they've ever had an experience. So, what was your experience? Because I've had one. I had one when I was a child, but I'm a bit, did it happen? But I had one recently, and it kind of was even then, I'm not entirely sure. But tell us about your experience.
So this was back in 2019. I was having a fire with my fiance. So I have a house like in the middle of the woods, but that's just a summer type deal that I always go to.
Yep.
So we were just sitting outside, and I see this light in the sky, and we're in the middle of the woods, and there, you can see there's a clear sky. And usually you see planes every now and then, but there was this one thing just chilling in the sky, and it was just watching, like it was over the river. It was really weird. And basically I was just like, is that a drone? And you could hear a drone, but the drone was so high up, you could see it as clear as day. So that was one experience.
Was there any lights? Because my experience was I'd just seen a black shadow in the clouds. There was no light whatsoever. But there was again, I could be wrong, but there was a black shadow in the clouds, and it was doing a sort of a weird pattern. And the best way to describe it would to be it went from like, if you was to take like the left axis of a box and then go to the right axis and then up to the, it almost did some sort of diagonal type pattern, and it was very bizarre. But here's the crazy part is 2 days later, we have cats, and I've spoke about this, but I come downstairs, and one of the cats was on our bed, and the other one was, well, funnily enough, was in my studio, because I left the door open. And but I come downstairs because I heard some noise, and there was a jug of water on the side, and as I come downstairs, the jug of water tipped over, and again, because I heard some noise and racket, and I come downstairs and blah, 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 but I come downstairs, and it tipped over, and then I was like, oh, the cats are fucking about. And then, obviously, I come down to my studio to have a smoke, and I was like, oh, you're sat here, It was a
Yeah.
very strange moment in which I almost wanted to blame it on the cats, but one of them was on my bed and the other one was sat chilling. And again, the back door was open, but something knocked over a jug of water. It could have been another cat, but I would naturally assume, because my cats fight all the time, that it probably wasn't a cat. Because I don't know. I don't know. But obviously, this month they are releasing said information, and I think they're going to swing a lot of it towards different countries, because China have recently said they've got a hypersonic missile. Do you know much about that?
Oh no.
Well, obviously, China have developed a hypersonic missile which goes Mach 8 or some bullshit speed like that, some astronomical speed. Um, so I think that basically they're gonna just say that it's, hey, other countries and aliens don't exist, but I think they're real.
I think they're out there. I mean, I think more aliens and or UFOs for that matter, they're all in the ocean because we don't really know what's in the ocean. Only 5% of it has been explored. And I feel like, we're looking in space, but there's only so many places in space you can go. It's an endless pit of dark light and a few planets, but
Well, there was a recent video of a. I'm sure you've seen it because again, you mentioned the videos that were in question that got debunked. Not debunked, sorry, they got leaked. Um, which was the Tic Tac, you know. Uh,
yeah,
but there was also another video which was it went into the ocean. It just sort of went woo, and literally, and the technology to do that is you can't put it to words. A ship that goes from air to sea is it's a different game. And I too believe that there are some sort of creatures living under the sea, and we haven't explored fuck all of it.
yeah,
We've barely
no,
explored the planet.
exactly. Yeah, I mean, I think aliens are real and they are among us. Just where are they? And is it like, are you an alien? Am I an alien? You know what I mean? Like we don't really know what the whole deal is. You know what I mean?
Well, again, I don't want to talk too much because I like my guests to talk, and I felt like I've talked a lot. Um, but there's obviously theories that we were genetically modified, and because we're fucking about with stuff now. So it's when you kind of put it on a scale, it's not it's very unlikely that we haven't done that or that it isn't the case.
Yeah, I, I know.
Do you know that apes are currently going through the Stone Age
Yeah, I mean,
using
well, could
tools and
you explain a little bit more with that because I didn't hear anything about that.
well, this is several years ago. Uh, Somewhere in some jungle, people were fucking about, and they'd sort of half taught apes, to fish with sticks, spears. And then there's like a photo of the chimps and apes doing it. So we've like kind of passed on some weird information to different species on the planet, and to the point where they are almost now going through their own sort of development period that we went through. Probably, well, I can't put a number to how long ago because that's very, very, you know. Some people would say, Christians would say fucking 2000 BC, Egypt, people that believe in ancient Egypt, and but I think we've been here for a very, very long time, and that we're just a civilization that's had to fuck up and create again and revolve, you know.
Yeah, definitely. No, I've seen a lot. I've seen videos and pictures like that with apes, and it kind of makes me think like, are we going to live in a world where it's going to be like a Planet of the Apes type? You know, like that's what I feel like that could generally happen.
Yeah, yeah. Well, let's get off the heavy bullshit topics and let's get into this because you mentioned Planet of the Apes. So, how would you, if that shit happened, how would you deal with that situation? If all the apes rose above men because we'd fucked ourselves up through maybe viruses, and then the apes go, "Hey, we've had enough of this shit." And then they started breaking out of zoos and riding lions and going fucking crazy. And you was put in the forward command and the charge against the elite apes. How would you deal with that?
If I was in charge, I would try to get every essential type of weaponry I could, and just go ham on them. Like it literally just like get every ape and just wipe them off the face of the earth if I had to.
Do you know what would be a scary prospect? Is if apes learnt how to use sniper rifles.
You ever see Godzilla Kong?
Do you know what? I haven't seen it yet. There's. I need to see it because I'm not a huge component in the Hollow Earth theory, but some people have said to me that it comes up in that film.
Oh, it does, yeah.
I'm going to watch it. If you was to give me a review, because this is something I didn't do last episode, was review. If you was to give me a 1 star out of 5 stars, What would you pick for Kong versus Godzilla?
2.
Oh shit!
Because
Oh.
the whole movie was kind of like, to me, like the way it was set up, it was pointless, and then it's like a 2 hour and 30 minute movie or however long it is, and it's like the last 10 minutes. That's when everything happens. You know what I mean?
Oh. Did you ever watch the original Godzilla back in 1998 or whatever it was?
Bits and pieces of it.
Yeah, they basically they did a Godzilla film, the modern day equivalent of the first Godzilla film. There was tons of Japanese ones and tons of B-movie ones, but in terms of real cinema, they did one, and basically the last 20 minutes you only seen the full Godzilla once. Most of it was his feet. There was an eye, a little claw. It was bullshit to the point where a lot of people complained because we was like, "Oh, this film's gonna be great," and it really wasn't because you seen fuck all of the actual beast. You know?
Yeah, the movie, I give it a 2, and a lot. I feel like a lot of movies do that as well. Like they always hype up, like let's say Jason Voorhees, for example. They And like the last like act of the movie, that's when you see Jason, you see him
Yeah.
kill.
No, carry on.
Well, I'm saying at least like with me, like if I make like I've made series on my channels as well, I would at least go like 1 or 2 episodes, give a little story, and then I would get on with a big like bang. Like for instance, I did a series called "The Man Who Exposed the Government." I did 3 like short little clips where I woke up in my car in the woods somewhere, not knowing how I got there. I got swatted, and then I was running from the government, kind of like a prequel, or not like a prequel, but like the events that happened before I, exposed everybody. And then the third or fourth episode was my buddy and I went to go check out these strange lights in the back of this development near my old place, and then we got shot at, and then my fiance goes missing. So I kind of incorporated a whole bunch of like crazy things that happened throughout the whole, series I did last time.
So it's almost like a non-fiction dramatization based upon your own real life.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, that's pretty cool. Because I've thought about doing stuff like that myself. I'm kind of half writing a book. Because I used to do a hell of a lot of drugs, and I used to get really fucked up. And I've got a, yeah. Do you know about the shadow people?
Yes.
Yeah, yeah. I've got a big, huge thing revolving around that in terms of what I'm writing. I genuinely believe that there's some sort of weird cosmic entity that just, navigates its way through human consciousness, and we're completely unaware of it. And to the point we can't even understand it. But it's there because again, I don't mean to cut you off, but I've got my own sort of theory, and I call it a blueprint theory, which if you can practically guess what is going to happen based upon a certain amount of events, and I've not quite laid it all down because it's fucking extremely complex. Um, but you can literally look at like 10 of your friends, look at 10 of their friends, and then between all that, sort of take all of their lives, empathize it, internalize it, and then you can almost guess what's going to happen. You can't predict the future, but you can almost guess through human instinct what's going to happen.
Right. See, I believe in shadow people, but I believe in ghosts and aliens are my big things. But I've had a lot of experiences with ghosts as well.
Ooh. Well, let's talk about them. Because I've had some experiences, but I've spoke about them on previous shows. And I personally feel like I've spoken too much. This is about the guests. Um, it might be because I'm pretty lit. Um, for those who can't see the video, I'm holding up a can. Trying to grip this sponsor right now. Now, there's a joke. I literally sent out a dozen emails to my favorite beer company today. I'm trying to claim them for sponsorship. You don't
There you,
try, you don't get.
yeah, there you go. Hey, I like that. I appreciate that too. I also, before I get on with the ghost topic, I do like that you like with when the guest talks more than you talk, because like I feel like a lot of people who do a podcast, they don't really care about the guest. They just care about, their show. You know what I mean? The way they
Yeah, yeah.
talk.
It's just, I mean, I talk a lot, but normally I go for like a 3 hour show. But this is very, very, very loose. This is probably the loosest this has been because this is just like a genuine conversation, you know?
That's my podcast.
No, but to me, it feels a bit strange because normally I'll have a bunch of preloaded questions and I'll have some stuff and I'll go off the cuff. But this seems very, very more open, in which I feel like I've spoken too much and I want to know more about you.
All
It's
right.
not even me being, like you said, attentive towards the guest. It's just, again, I talk a lot, I'm a bit lit, and I just wanted to get some weird, fucked up points out there. But you speak about ghosts, so let's hear your ghost stories.
So
And I'll
basically,
go on, carry on.
I during ghosts for a while. I've had my mom told me when I was like 4 years old after my grandmother died. She said that I was talking to somebody upstairs, and she said that she was asking who are you talking to. I said, oh, I was talking to grandma. She told me I should go outside and play football or whatever. And then there was one time where I have a summer house up in the Poconos, which is like 40, maybe like an hour, 2 hours, like away from where we live. And basically, there's a lot of history on there.
Yeah, the Poconos are, man, even me from the UK, I know about that area.
Yeah. So basically, I want to say about 10 years ago, maybe even a little, maybe 15 years ago. Let's go that far. My aunt was driving by our place because no one's up there in the winter except for maybe one or two people. And she was driving by and she saw a little girl just like chilling like by this water pump. So my uncle went to go down and check it, and then he didn't see a little girl there, and then he saw a rubber red ball come down from the mountain and it rolled right to his foot. So flash forward, this is when I was about 17 or 18. My dog Max wakes me up at like 3 in the morning, and I'm walking around, letting him go to the bathroom. I hear a little giggle, and I'm thinking like, yeah, it's just my mind playing tricks on me. Well, I heard the giggle, and it got a little louder, and then Max, my dog, back, he looked behind us, and I was like, all right, I'm done. Let's get in.
That's crazy, man.
And my old apartment was haunted too.
How so?
Like, we had some weird experiences. So like we had a camera set up by our fish tank, our old fish tank that we used to have. And basically I was doing the dishes, and my fiance was in the bathroom, and you could see like I was doing the dishes because the camera was so far back to the point where you could see where both of us were. We heard a loud clap. I looked behind me. I'm thinking, why are you clapping? She was like, that wasn't me. So we went back and looked at the camera. The camera caught the clap on, live, and then the cameras moved once. So we were in the back room and we caught this on video. The camera like moved slightly to the left a little bit, and then the other camera that was facing the fish tank, it flipped over.
Wow, that's fucking crazy.
So and we moved in February, so I don't. So the people that live there now, I don't know if they're getting haunted, but.
So do you think the house is haunted, or do you think because occasionally people go, look, I'm haunted, the shit travels with me. But obviously you get haunted houses. Do you think it was the house, or maybe because you've just said you've had numerous experiences. You ever thought that you've just got some ghost that's trailing you around?
Probably. So my mom's house has been haunted. I will admit that there's been some weird things that happened there. Like, for example, the door was locked at my mom's house and it was shut, and then the door unlocked and it opened. And that was at like 8 o'clock in the morning. There was one point where I was downstairs and I heard somebody run from the basement up to the stairs. I'm thinking, who's downstairs in my basement? And then I look up because I threw the covers over my head. I was like kind of scared as a kid. And when I lifted the covers up, there was this picture that was like swinging back and forth. I did a seance in my house, and the same picture that would swing back and forth, that was swinging back and forth. That's on my YouTube channel. Yeah, I mean,
This could be a interesting podcast. You ever done a Ouija board?
Never done a Ouija board, but that's something I'm probably going to try and do with the YouTube thing I'm doing, the Spirit Project. But I'm still, the guy that I'm working with, he takes forever to, he wants to I want to get videos out like weekly, and same with podcasts, because I always spend at least like 2 hours like editing everything.
Oh, too long. Do you know what I do? Unless there's dead air. If there's dead air, I'll cut that out. But editing, no way, my friend. Just fucking smash it out there. Who gives a fucking toss about editing? Do you know there's numerous groups on Facebook and Twitter and Instagram going, hey, I'll edit your show for blah, 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 blah. Scam. Don't ever fall for any of that shit. Tell you now. Just don't edit anything. I ain't editing this. I ain't gonna edit fuck all. I could get my dick out on camera. I ain't gonna edit that. No way. I wouldn't edit it. I wouldn't. Truly, I only post audio, so no one will ever see it. But that's literally the level that I work at. I don't do editing. To be honest, I already break most of my own fucking country's laws by smoking weed on my show. You know?
Yeah. Go see. I mean, I don't think it should take 2 hours to edit. If you want to make it like a movie,
Mm.
maybe like an hour, maybe 45 minutes tops. But this guy, we filmed this episode Memorial Day weekend, the week like that Thursday before, and it's 4 weeks. No, it's been over 4 weeks that this thing has been filmed, and I'm or been put out. I'm like, dude, like put out the fucking video. Like, I can curse, right?
Yeah. Oh, look, bro, I'm smoking weed. I'm drinking. You're asking me if you. I just literally talked about flopping my fucking cock out on the camera, and you're asking me if you can curse? For real? This is literally probably one of the most loosest shows on the internet. I'm not even gonna fuck about. There is no holds barred on this shit. Zero editing apart from dead air.
Yeah.
You good? You haven't. Don't worry about cursing.
All right. But yeah, this guy that I work with, he wants everything a certain way. And I'm thinking, like, you know what, dude? Like, we'll do it your way, but I want to get it done and over with so that way I can go and spend the rest of my night, like, saying, all right, I accomplished it. But this guy is taking for fucking ever to
Mm.
get the video out. And I'm like, you know what, dude? Just send me all the clips. I sent this to him last. I was like, send me the clips of the tunnels that we filmed at. I'll edit it today. I'll put it out, and then I got to come over this week so we can film the next episode that we wanted to film, and I'll go edit that. And he's like, "Well, I got to do it my way." I'm like, "No, we don't have to."
Oh,
So
jeez.
it's like I don't want to be a partner with this guy because he's trying to make it his own way, but he has some cool equipment that we could film with. But at the same time, it's like if we're not going to be a partner with this, I don't want to do it.
Do you know? Here's my only advice I'm gonna give to you, and I ain't no fucking expert, but I'm a solo one man team. Yeah. Again, literally, I bought a camera, I bought a mic, I bought some other shit. I have done some investment, and I am looking for a co-host. But the difference is, if you're waiting even more than fucking 2 days, you should literally go. What are you doing with your life? Are you on this, or are you fucking around playing, shenanigans? What are you doing?
He blamed it on
Bullshit. Excuses. That's what he
he
blamed
blames
on.
it on his injury, and he got injured on his foot. I'm thinking, well, you're not using your feet.
You are. Listen, do you want to know what? Here's something just for you, my friend. People, and you're on the right show. You're talking about. He blamed it on his feet. You're talking to someone who is physically disabled. So this is just for your fucking friend. And you know what? For those people out there who aren't going to view this, I've spoke about it on my show. I have 3 toes on one fucking foot. Yeah? My other foot is broken. You see that crazy shit? Look at that. So your fucking friend, has fuck all excuses. He's lazy. He's lazy. Legitimately lazy. My other ankle, I break every fucking other week. Breaks all the time because, again, you seeing that? It's mangled. It looks like a horror show, a freak show. Yeah, you're the first person to experience that on camera.
My
But,
mom
say that again.
my mom had 6 fingers.
Yeah, it's not like it's, man, I wished I had 6 fingers. Jeez. I could take my foreplay game to the whole new level with that. Jesus. But no, for people that complain about their feet, they have no fucking idea. I literally work on 1 foot every day. And so tell your fucking friend, your co-host, whatever he is, tell him he needs to sort his shit out. And to be honest, or personally, I'd just do your own fucking thing. This isn't me. This is a very strange podcast. It's like I'm giving advice to people, but you probably should. You know, it's. I've been there myself. You know, I've dealt with people that take forever to just send me audio. You know, but that excuse that you gave to me, that your friend gave, is bullshit.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And I even so like I with me I have schedules that I want to keep. And that's my thing. Like I stopped posting on my regular YouTube channel for a month just so this thing could get out and so we could post a few episodes and I was going to start posting again, but I got tired of not posting my own shit. I'm like, you know what? I was like, I gotta do this. I gotta post my videos so I can get this out here. And if he doesn't give this stuff in the next couple of days, I'm just going to say, you're done with the project. I'm doing it myself.
Yeah.
Because it's tiring. You know, I'm tired of waiting.
Yeah, well, maybe you should just do it. And to be honest, it is very tiring doing it on your own. But you're younger than me, clearly. And if I can do it, fuck me, anyone can do it.
Oh, yeah.
And again, but it's just relying upon somebody else's. You're not going to get your show out there. It's just so fucked up. And to be honest, here's the I've branched out to a few fucking friends, and I'm like, hey, do you want to do something? Do you want to fucking make something of your life? And they're like, yeah, I'll do that. And then they just fall through. They can't even show up, you know?
Yeah.
Listen, and the real thing is, podcasting is kind of the new thing. It's like the new modern day radio. And most of these people, 2 days after I've messaged them, are all depressed, going, I'm doing nothing with my life. Ooh. I just offered you a fucking chance, bitch. What are you doing? You know?
I get that all the time.
It's fucked, isn't it?
So, like, I have people who come on the show, and then, like, the day of, they cancel, and, like, I don't want them back on the show because it's like, all right, well, they're like, all right, I want to reschedule, and like sometimes I don't even reschedule with
you. Yeah.
If you offered or said you're going to come on the show and cancel at the last minute, then I don't want you on, you know, because then you're going to cancel again.
I mean, this is almost a podcast talking about how podcasting works because I've had, and again, I fucked up several weeks ago, but it was only because I was building the studio that I'm in now, and I accidentally smashed my fucked up foot with a sledgehammer.
Oof.
Yeah, and it was, and I did have to pull out on 2 guests, and I sent out many apologies. One of them hasn't got back to me, but one of them was a bit of a prick, and was like, "Oh, excuses." And I'm like, wait, what? You don't even know what's going on. You know? It was one of those fucked up moments. Occasionally, and this is the thing, we the world we live in is some of us genuine podcasters and we want to have a laugh and a talk. But some of us are just for money and corporate bullshit and they're like, oh, I'll like for like you. That never works, you know?
Yeah, I know how you feel. Like, I don't care about the money. I never really cared about money. It doesn't really bug me as much. I like talking and I like getting my points out there. I mean, I've had people who threaten to come after me because of some of the outrageous shit I used to say.
The fuck?
I mean,
for real?
Yeah.
What was it? Now you've really got the game going. What was it? What did you say that? Because I've said loads of outrageous shit. I base my whole life upon outrageous shit. What did you say that got people riled up? Because that would be spectacular to hear.
So it was my very first episode. This was on YouTube back in 2015. And
Ooh.
I said, you know what? Let me just do this as a parody joke. Let me just talk about like the flaws of women and like things I'm turned off about them, and I went like balls to the wall with it. And I made this song when I was 13. I'm 26, but I posted this when I was 20. The song was called "Slap That Bitch" every Friday night,
Carry
and
on.
I active group at my college come after me, threatening to, they said we're gonna get back at you or execute you because so outrageous and we didn't like what you said. You got to delete the episode. I'm like, fuck that. I'm not deleting the episode.
Do you know what's crazy? Is you say all that and everyone was giving you death threats, but you're still here now.
Yeah.
You know? What? This is going to be a very controversial topic. What's your thoughts on cancel culture? Because, and I'm going to put it out there right now, and I'm only putting it out here now because of multiple sources, and I'll cite them if anyone wants to fucking discredit me. But apparently, cancel culture is a myth. It's all bullshit. It's a little singular train that gets people on, and it's very, very much a myth. I've spoke to people from all races, and there's been no issues ever, not a single fucking one. And I've spoke my say, I talk the way I am. But obviously, there's a certain bunch of people that are a bunch of racists and fuck ups and whatever. But there's just a very slight conspiracy that it's all a myth and it was all propagated by the government.
Yeah. I think the government gets involved way too much, to be honest. And they do some fucked up things that we don't know behind the scenes. That's why I really don't trust. That's why I made the series, "The Man Who Exposed the Government," because it's something that like I believe in. And I mean, so right now we're watching the X Files from beginning to end, and some of the things I see on the X Files.
Me too. I just started it again.
Yeah, we're on. I think we're on episode like 15 right now.
Okay, I'm on season 4, I think.
4.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're on the first season. She's never seen it. I've seen bits and pieces of like what they're saying on the show. I kind of like look back and say like what they're saying on the show, I'm saying now. So it's just like it's
Very
kind of
relatable.
yeah, it's very relatable, and I believe the government has been hiding a lot of stuff. Especially, I don't think. Like I want to go on a topic with COVID-19. I think this whole pandemic was planned.
I think again we'll get to the fact that it was planned, but and again I compromise myself every episode. But lately, from what I've learned, is that COVID broke out 2 months prior to what it was. You know,
In like December, right?
Uh, yeah, there was apparently 2 people that had COVID that went to a restaurant way before the Wuhan leak. Um, but it's fucked up because it's now coming out that essentially it has actually come from a fucking lab and was
Yeah.
bioengineered. Uh, but the fucked up thing is, people believe for so long, oh, it was a bat, it was a pangolin. No, 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 no. It was. This is. Listen, I will get a jab if I have to, but at the minute, I'm pretty good. You know, I'm not an anti-vaxxer. Nothing against that, but
Yep.
it's a different league, and I think that there's. I'm not saying there's some fuckery, but it's not exactly great. You know, because there's all these variants, and then you're gonna have to get a new thing, and then something else, and you know.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not against the vaccine, but you know, I think this did come from a lab, and I've read some stuff online that it came from a lab. It's just I don't know. The government is doing some really like shady things, shady shit in the world that we don't know about.
Well, to me, I think it is a huge distraction. All of it, because again, the UFO shit's coming out this literally this month, and that is one of the biggest pieces of knowledge in human history. To me, personally, it is the fact that we're not alone, you know, and so what better of a way to distract us from what would be the and again, it would ruin all of religion. It would ruin everything because people go, well, I believe in God and I believe in this, and boom, it gets shattered in an instant. And I think that these little kind of pandemics and whatever is just a small test for the big thing that's to come, and a minor distraction from the real news that should be breaking this month.
Well, what do you think the big thing to come is?
Well, like I say, this month, well, it happened 2 days ago, 3 days ago. Um, there was, no, it was yesterday, sorry, because I did a show yesterday and I was hoping it would go live on the show. But there was congressional hearings to do with obviously UFOs and the because this is the fucked up part is it was snuck into the COVID bill. Obviously they did this COVID bill and all this shit where they'd release money to people. Well, what was snuck into there was the release of all of the files, to declassify the fact that are we here or not alone. I should have put that out there on the first sentence. Um, but obviously it was snuck into the bill and they had X amount of days. Well, it's now come to the X amount of days, and they literally had a hearing a couple of days ago, but nothing since then has been released. Where is my phone? I am in very much in tune with it, because. But the fucked up thing is they're gonna try. There's the new hypersonic missiles just got released as well, which is very funny. It turns out that the same year in which UFOs are about to be declassified, they release hypersonic missiles. Hmm, you know, it's a fucked up thing. There
Yeah.
is aliens, but they're going to blame it on China and go, no, no, no. They have hypersonic missiles, super fast. They reach fucking Mach 8 or whatever the fuck it is, and that's why we can't scan them. It's such a, I don't know, man. It's all theory. I don't know. Fuck all. I'm a simpleton.
Hear that, man? I mean, who knows? I think the world. I think they're going to come down. The aliens are going to come over. They're not going to take over. I don't. They might take over. I don't know yet. But I feel like there could be aliens landing on the White House. Not on the White House, but on the out front of the White House, just to see what their reaction's going to.
Pull yourself a little bit closer to the mic. Um, yeah, you keep breaking off just like. Why do you think they go to the White House?
They want to see. They want to. I'm thinking they want to see how the president's going to react in the United States. That is, and then that's when they're going to branch off and go to different, parts of the government throughout the world to see how they're going to react, and then it's going to be a big takeover.
But here's the crazy. Why the United States? I mean, it's a big country, but why would they strategically go there unless they had to go there to recover information, you know, from allegedly, let's say, crashed sites,
Why would they go? I don't know. To be honest, I don't know. I just picked a random place. Well, DC is not really random, but I just picked the
Mm.
place because that's where all the government is. I feel like.
But this is what's crazy. Why would they go to a government? Because here's, I mean, if I was an alien looking on a distant planet, I wouldn't see a government. I'd just see them all as one, because that's essentially what we are. The
Yeah.
same way in which you look at insects, you look at bees, you don't go, hey, where's the queen bee? You don't look at ants and go, hey, where's the queen? They're just ants. And that's what we are. We're just all humans. If anything, ants and bees actually have a better fucking standing. Because a queen ant is much larger than all the other ants. And the same for bees. So
True.
if any, so if anything, they've got a better standing in the universe than what we do. Because we're just all the same. We're all the same. We don't change. We don't evolve much.
Yeah. No, I feel you on that. Feel you on
Sorry,
that.
I'm no sorry. I'm skinning up. Sorry.
That's fine.
Just, rolling a spliff. So we've spoke about reptiles and fucked up ghosts. What's your theories on flat Earth,
Um.
Hollow Earth? Because
Hollow.
if you're, because again, people go flat Earth, but Hollow Earth is a different game. Because, and I've spoke about it twice on my show, but there's a tale about a guy who battled underground reptiles with laser pistols under Dulce in New Mexico. So, what's your thoughts on Hollow Earth or even Flat Earth?
I didn't hear anything really about Hollow Earth, but Flat Earth I have heard. But I think the Earth is just it's. I don't think it's flat. I think it's round, and simply for the fact because I watch sometimes the ISS news feed on or a live feed on YouTube, and it's basically astronauts up in space
Mm,
right now. They're pointing cameras at Earth, and you can see it's not flat. Just depends on where you're at. You know, just depends on where you're at. I feel like a lot of people think the Earth is flat. I could be wrong on that statistic, but I don't think it's flat.
I mean, I don't think it's flat, but you know, Steven Spielberg once made dinosaurs look real. You know, just gonna put that out there in terms of CGI. You know, I'm not saying the Earth is flat, but people can replicate a lot of shit. Um, the Earth is round, clearly, but again, you say you don't know much about Hollow Earth. Hollow Earth, Hollow Earth. Fucking hell.
Yeah,
So I'm just trying to roll there. Bear with me.
that's fine.
I'm making this overcomplicated by talking. Nah, that's alright. Uh, but what's your thoughts? Again, I mentioned this on my last show, and I talk to most people about modern day technology, and the last show was very bizarre because I went into a show with a photographer, uh, and it turns out and I thought she was about 24. Turns out she was like 17, and I was like, okay, that's cool. We can work with this, and it was on that basis that I kind of wanted to go, there's a lot of TikTok stuff that I don't know about, and it was a strange moment. I
Right.
lost all my train of thought there. There was a question behind that, and I lost it.
Honor.
But here we go. Sorry, it's because I'm thinking about sparking this up. But obviously, I had a show with someone from the younger generation, and you said you're younger yourself. And lately, there's been a weird, significant change between languages, and apparently, the new thing is emojis. Yeah, in term, and which I mean is that they're going to be like hieroglyphs. You know, back in the day, people used hieroglyphs to talk, and it seems apparently today that like emojis are like hieroglyphs.
Yeah.
And I again, I had a photographer on, but almost forgot. I forgot to ask about it because again, we was just chatting some shit, and she was into biology, and we was talking about snails and all sorts of weird insects, which was cool as fuck because I love insects. But I never got to get around to the real topic, which was literally loosely based around the fact that we might be going back into a new universal language, emojis.
Right. Um, I don't. I rarely use emojis. Depending on depends on how I feel. I will use emojis, but I don't use them as much as many people around my age group. Like I'll go from like ages. I'm in the age between 30, 20 and 30. I'm 26, like I said earlier. I want to say kids that are around like from 24 to 17 or 16 perhaps, they use more emojis than I do. Personally, like I'll use them, you know, every now and then, but I don't use them as much. But
Well,
I think in this day and age, a lot of kids, younger than me, use emojis.
it's just such a bizarre thing because you don't, and this is where I kind of felt like I missed an opportunity because I was like, I'm fucking 30, and to me, I was like, I was talking to someone that's essentially I could have, not given birth to because I'm a man, but you know what I mean? And it was a very bizarre moment, but I missed an opportunity to almost go, what do you think, to get into that world of TikTok? Because I don't know fuck all about it. I don't know nothing about it. And I briefly mentioned it, but then after the episode, I was like, oh, you fucking dickhead. You could have mentioned so many things and gained so much knowledge. And I didn't. It was a big fuck up. It makes no difference. She's going to come back on the show anyway. I'm doing I've been working on it for a while, which is sort of a rise and fall of civilizations podcast. I'm going to get like a few people on there, and we're going to battle it out with a big discussion. It'll be a good one.
Yeah, I have a lot of. I'll talk about that in a second, but I have a lot of stuff I have planned with the show as well. Yeah, I mean, when it comes, I don't know. I feel like today's technology is really fucked up in a way because a lot of people, and I don't use TikTok. I hate TikTok with a passion. I'll admit, I was probably the first one that used TikTok without it becoming like a big website, and I used it back in 2018 because I knew it was a new app coming out, and I looked up something. The TikTok's cool, so I just made like 2 TikToks, and that was it. But I tried to do it again back during the pandemic, and I just didn't understand it. It was just stupid to me. So, but I think a lot of technology nowadays is going to kill humanity, and I hope it doesn't. But I mean, I look out my window every day, and I don't really see any kids outside as much because everyone's in like video games or whatnot. And I was always the type of kid, I had to go outside. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. I was a outdoor child, um, and I always encouraged my own son to go outside. But in terms of technology, it's almost strange to see the way it's becoming. You know, again, I mentioned it to a friend earlier. It might have even been you. I don't know who I mentioned it to. But they've recently developed a flying car. This literally looks like a drone. It's like a drone that's got four fucking propellers on the bottom, but it's a car, a flying car. And I think that pod racing is going to be the future.
Oh yeah.
I think there's going to be a competition between flying cars, and I think it's going to totally erase Formula One.
Oh yeah. I believe it.
But I need some better new weed. This ain't very good. It's nice. It's just I smoke the same weed day in day out, and it's getting a bit boring now. It's a problem when you buy by the ounce, folks. If you ever buy weed by the ounce, people don't do it. Yeah. And if anyone out there wants to send me some mushrooms or psychedelics, feel free. Send them. I'll give you my address.
I had a bad experience with an edible once.
What was the experience?
So this was 2000, like 17. I can't remember how long ago, but my fiance got it from a guy, and basically you're only supposed to eat like, one little piece of it. Well, we ate the whole thing. And
Nah.
we went through the 5 stages of like we were sad, we were happy, we were crying, we were mad, and I actually felt like at one point during the whole time we were smoking weed, or the whole time we had the edible and we were going through this whole mind fucking thing. I was talking to her, but I was using my mind to talk with her.
Oh, okay.
It was like an out of body experience, something I never had in my entire life. I was like, whoa. It's almost as bad as the time as I did acid.
Listen, I'm a huge fan of acid.
I've only done
Huge fan of all
I've only done it once. It wasn't fun afterwards.
that. Time displacement, I guess.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
to I remember I was talking to a statue once. I was having a full conversation, a one-on-one conversation with the statue. It was weird. It was in Philadelphia when I did that.
The first time I did acid was with a bunch of friends, and we was in the woods, and legitimately, I thought there was monkeys in the trees, and I was throwing sticks at them. Very, very weird. I'll literally, because I've got no holds barred. Uh, Again, to the person that's maybe he's not going to listen to this, who knows? But I also that night got off with one of my own friends, who was a boy. It was a wild night, very wild. So it started off. We took a hell of a lot of pills and some acid. I lost a skateboard, which was worth £400. That was a fuck up. But literally, it started off. We got fucked up, and I started throwing sticks into the trees, thinking we was gonna get ambushed by apes. I got off with one of my friends, which was a weird fucking moment because at the time we were 16. I was very young. Bear that in mind. I was very young, fucked up, And from there on, which is where the story continues, I then was searching for. I used to do map developing for Unreal Tournament back in the day, and I used to essentially have a boss. In a fashion, he'd pay me to make maps, and basically, I went from where we was camping, and I went looking for him down railroad tracks. So I'd hopped over this bridge, went down some railroad tracks where apparently there was a pub down there which didn't exist. Again, this was why acid is very dangerous because I imagined a pub on the railway lines. So I came back upon myself, because again, I almost got hit down by a train.
Right.
And this is all a true story. And then I went to knock on the friend's door. And bear in mind, this was now about 6:30 in the morning. I went to knock on his door. He wasn't there because he was meant to be camping with me. So I approached his mum and was like, bang, bang, bang. Hey, is Sean there? Fake name. And she was like, no, was that camping with you? And I was like, okay. And then I walked off, you know? And the fun part is, between all of that journey, I was poking up trees, thinking there were people in the trees, like predator type people. I have no idea how I turned up at her door, but it must have been wild. Because in between there, I was literally stabbing trees with branches, like fucking poking trees like a madman. And there was also a bush that I smashed and obliterated to a million pieces because I thought there was a invisible predator style dog. And I obliterated it. True story, right there.
Did your friend ever turn up? Like, did you ever find your afterwards, or?
Yeah. We were good friends. It was just a wild moment. I lost 72 hours worth of time during that. I went to sleep. I did all. I did loads and loads of shit in between this acid experience.
Yeah.
Wild, wild time. One of the funnest times of my life. But there was so much displacement, you know.
Yeah.
But
I feel you on that.
I mean, eventually, and again, I was in a band at this point, and I went round to all their houses looking. You know, it was fucked up, man. I lost so much time. Give me a fucked up story, man, because I've just did a very wild story. So you need to almost replicate it, outdo it. That's a wild tale.
I don't think I have one. I mean, I'm pretty sure I do have one. I just can't think of one right now. I have a story where this was New Year's one day. Yeah, this was New Year's. I can't remember. It was like when I was in high school. I remember I smoked a ton of weed. I was like 16 or 17. I smoked a ton of weed, and basically I drank a lot too. And I remember the last thing I remember was running upstairs to go to the bathroom. Well, apparently my ex-girlfriend, she was my ex-girlfriend at the time, she found me naked on the ground and I threw up everywhere. She pulled my pants up and
Wow.
woke up with two pit bulls next to me.
Whoa! Two pit bulls! Fuck! Wow.
They were like sleeping on me. I was like, whoa. I was like,
Yeah, that is a little bit wild. I tell you what, here's again, this is a loose show. I'll just run off this fucker. What's the craziest place you've ever had sex? I'll put mine out here. I didn't do it the last show. I asked my last guest his craziest position, but I also asked his wildest time, but I didn't get to say mine. And my wildest time was I had sex with my current partner on a miniature train railway line. What's yours?
in a cemetery on a grave.
Oh, that's fucking. What was the name? Do you know the name of the grave?
No.
Oh, you should have paid attention to that. That'd have been genius. What made you do that? That's crazy. I mean, don't get me wrong. I've had sex in a graveyard, but not in a grave. Jeez, that's some Jeffrey Dahmer shit.
Well, to be fair, it was like there was no great like there was a gravestone right there, and like we were just on it, but we didn't have anywhere to go, and I didn't drive at the time, so I just said cemetery raining too. It was really bizarre.
It was raining. I know, I can, but what does she, literally, here, this is where it's going to get bizarre. What does she look like? Because I want to not that I'm a pervert, but I almost want to picture this sort of scene in a graveyard and it's raining and it's, I've been there myself, but I want to picture it. Again, I've had sex on a miniature railway. And it's funny because my partner's just entered the room. Thank you. Yeah, so again, you know what? You should have paid attention to the graveyard. That would have been fantastic.
Yeah.
My partner's currently shaking her head at me going, what? We had sex on a railway line. Why are you shaking your head at? Look, you're putting your hands in your ears. You want a beer? No? Okay. Love it. You come and have a look. You're meant to be my co-host. To some respect.
Today I'm not.
Not today you're not. We could at least get your tits out. Woo! There we go.
That's not funny.
Yeah. There you go, you see. That's how loose this show is. Nah, near my part. Go on, carry on.
I was going to say, you seem like it's like you're very loose when it comes to doing your show.
Extremely. Here's the thing, is most people nowadays are so fake. It's all fucking production, fakery. This isn't that show. Literally, I'll drink, I'll smoke weed, I'll show you my weird gammy foot. My missus comes in, I'll fucking banter with her. It's the way it is. Literally, it's probably the loosest, unedited show on the internet. I'm not even joking. And the great thing is, I'm breaking many laws, which is fun, That's what we do.
When it comes to my show, I try not to do much editing with it. That's because I like the format I use, and I used to just do it like a live video on Facebook back in like 2015, 2016, and I would just do that, and then I started doing interviews. And now, since I'm doing more audio with Spotify and whatnot, I've learned to talk about certain things. Like, for example, I posted something on Facebook about back in February, March, around that time, and I said something about kids not having work ethic.
Okay.
Because a lot of kids that are around my age or younger don't.
Somewhat true. I can understand what you're saying.
So, two family members got really offended about it, and they gave me so much content to make a podcast about it because they were flipping out about that comment I made. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to talk about them in my podcast. I didn't use their name. I used a fake name just out of respect. But at the same time, it's just kind of like, I made a comment and they pissed me off. So I was like, thanks for giving me content because I'm going to make sure that whatever you say, I'm going to put out there.
Well, the real thing is, whether it's good or bad comments, still views.
Yeah. And it's great podcasting too. Even when you're even if you're arguing on the
yeah,
it's good content.
I mean, I've not had a single disagreement so far on any of my shows, and I chat shit all the time. Again, I talk a lot about stuff that people don't agree with. Like, a lot of people don't agree with my comments or any of my views. But it's only because that I'm that lone fucker who just goes, maybe you shouldn't do this or jump on that bandwagon. It's to the point where, okay, we'll go back to COVID. People were believing for ages that it was bats, the wet market, Well, it's all now coming out that it fucking wasn't it wasn't the wet market. It was a fucking laboratory leak, like I said earlier. You know. But the problem is, if certain news spreads to one person, then one person spreads to three, and then three to seven, and and next thing you've got a narrative, and people believe in stuff that is complete bullshit.
Yeah.
It's again like cancel culture. Cat Williams, great comedian, he made a joke about it, saying it was a myth. It's all bullshit. And again, every single person I've spoke to, I've not gone out of my way to make certain remarks, but I've just been myself. And not a single person, and I fucking judge myself critically, but not a single person has gone, hey, I find that offensive. Which to me is spooky,
Well, that's the thing. A lot of people that I talk to, doesn't matter who it is, a lot of people get offended over littlest things. Like I made a post about, I'm neither pro-Trump nor pro-Biden. I don't care what idiot's in office.
Yeah, I'm in the middle.
I said something about, it said companies that represent Donald Trump, and like McDonald's was one of them, Facebook was one of them. So I posted the list of companies that was affiliated with him. And I said, why not go to these companies because they support Trump? I was like, basically, you're going to put these companies that have been in business for, 10 plus years, 20 plus years out of business if you're not going to go to them. And somebody said I was a racist, this, that, and the third. I'm just like, well, it's the truth. If you're not going to support a company because they support the president, doesn't make it them bad as a person.
Do you know, here's what's fucked up. Is people call you a racist, but if people looked at me on a camera, they'd literally go, hey, you literally look like a neo-Nazi skinhead.
Right.
Again, I have a bald shaven head, I've got tattoos on my face and down the side, literally. But, and again, that's, it's irrelevant. But people, I've had several people that have called me a racist, and it's completely, they're way off the mark. But do you know what's fucked up? Is it was white people that called me racist. How fucked up is that?
Oh, it's really fucked up.
That's the real fucked up thing about it. Is, again, I don't even have to defend myself because I know the way I think, and I know my morals, my intentions, I know it all. But what's crazy is there's a bunch of white people shouting out a whole bunch of bullshit, riling everybody up. And it's kind of fucking bonkers. Was it a white person that messaged you?
No, but a white person,
Oh, okay.
a white person did, join in on the conversation as well. But in my family, I have many different. In my family, there are people I have different races in my family. I have a couple gay family members that are, uncles.
Oh, me too.
And I have, black people, white people. I had a Korean grandmother. I have all these different sorts of races in my family that are blood related. And it's like when people look at me and say you're a racist, I'm just like, okay, how so?
Yeah.
Like, you don't know my history. I haven't said one racist thing, but if I mention Donald Trump and the businesses that support him, you're going to call me racist because I mentioned his name?
But that's kind of a bubble, isn't it?
Yeah.
Again, that's like everyone that's affiliated with one thing ends up becoming associated with a different thing. So, i.e., if you're, if you like Donald Trump, then you're affiliated with racism. But that isn't exactly the truth, because I like Donald Trump. I like him because he's a funny fucking clown.
Yeah.
I like him because he makes a prick out of himself. It's hilarious. He launched a fucking podcast and quit it after 3 weeks.
Exactly.
What the fuck? What the fuck does that in itself is hilarious. But just because I like the guy doesn't make me a racist. There's so many grey areas, and that's the problem. That's the real problem.
Yeah.
It's just navigating through those grey areas. But again, what's fucking crazy is again we're different sides of the fucking planet in a way. But most of the people that have accused me of being racist have been white, and I'm like, the fuck. And the funny thing about it is, when I look back, like on my own life, they made way too many derogative comments.
Yeah.
You know? And I go, well, and they could go and hit me back now and go, well, I was a child. And I'll go, well, why are you bringing it up? It's fucked up, man. People forget that, times change, people change. And these people that are judging everyone, they're just people that would judge themselves.
Right.
And 9 times out of 10, they were judged in a way which now they have a platform which they can judge everyone else.
Exactly. I mean, there's this one guy used to be a good friend of mine. We don't really talk as much anymore, but he always brings up stuff that happened in high school. And I'm just, dude, like, and it's always when I'm drinking too. Like, he always thinks he's gonna get an answer out of me if I for drink. Like, I'm like, dude, why do you bring this shit up? That was like, I've been out of high school for 8 years. He's been out for 9 years. So it's kind of like, why are you bringing this shit up?
I mean, most people tend to live in the past.
Oh yeah.
I spent. Sorry, I'm just rolling. I spent numerous amounts of years dwelling shitty thoughts in my head. I was bullied in school. Again, I showed you my fucking foot. I was bullied in school because of that, and it fucked me up. And it had a serious toll upon not only my self-confidence, in terms of, you go to the swimming baths and you have to, little things like that, but sports and whatever. And it literally had a huge impact upon me. So to anyone that, has shitty feelings about themselves, I can always relate to them. Because we've all had a shit fucking time.
Yeah.
I can, unless you've had your education paid for, I can guarantee that your school years were shit.
Exactly.
Be it through bullying or whatever. It's a guarantee. Anyway, we're going off down some weird fucking paths. We're going down some weird fucking tangents. Very strange tangents. Let's talk about, we spoke some ghosts. What's your thoughts about cryptocurrency?
I bought Dogecoin. I bought like,
Ooh.
but hasn't really gone up in the last like couple weeks.
No, when did you buy in?
Back in like April.
Okay, about the same time as me then. It was fucking crazy when it hit that peak. Oh no, wait. Sorry, no, I bought the start of the year. You bought in when it hit the fucking peak.
Yeah.
Yeah. Motherfucker. You ruined us. No, I'm just joking.
I want to buy it more, but I feel like it's pointless if nothing's happening. You know what I mean?
But it's higher than what it was. I bought in way sooner. Again, some weird word of mouth kind of deal where someone said, "Hey, you want to get on this?" And I was like, "Absolutely." But at the minute, the market's fucked.
I mean, I bought into a therapeutic place. I also bought it Domino's Pizza and
Domino's.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of Domino's, but I mean, I'll eat it. I actually had Domino's not too long ago. Actually, it was pretty good.
You're literally making me want to buy a fucking pizza. Are you a fucking Domino's salesman? I'm fucking literally, I'm not joking you. I'm actually really hungry. And I'd love a pizza. Oh.
You kind of want right now too. Oh, you says.
Did you hear about Papa John's? They had some sort of cryptocurrency business going on.
Yeah, I heard about that. My
Yeah.
told me about that.
One of my friends, again, shout out. I'm not going to shout him out, but not his personal name, but shout out to the SOS Society. But he kind of half got duped into the cryptocurrency scheme that you had to. Well, he didn't get duped. He just didn't have a fucking passport. You had to basically, if you ordered a pizza, they'd give you X amount of Bitcoin. I think it was 0.00 something, then another naught, next to nothing. But again, they did a deal, but actually, he didn't have a passport. So, not really their fucking fault, is it?
Yeah. Oh.
But no, they did a deal. What do you think about? Obviously, we spoke about a little bit about apes and civilizations. A little bit about crypto, but have you given any thought to Neuralink?
No, not at all.
Mm.
Because I haven't really researched much about it, to be honest.
Mm. There seems to be a recurring pattern of people that don't know about what's going to happen in the very foreseeable future.
Yeah.
So, if I was to tell you that in maybe 25 years we could relay this podcast telepathically, what would you think about
I think that'd be pretty lit, to be honest.
that? That's what I'm saying. I think it's going to be possible. Did you ever see the monkey playing Pong that was installed with it and it was doing it telepathically?
Yeah, I've seen something like that, yeah.
Mm. Yeah, I think we're becoming aliens.
You know what I actually am very interested in? Time travel.
Ooh, are you one of these weird? Again, I've got a minor comedy bit about time travel and TikTokers. So this seems to be a new pattern. So time travel, away you go.
Yep. So this is actually a true TikTok story. I mean, it's probably, faked and edited and whatnot, but there's this guy. He's from where the hell is he from? He's overseas. I think he's in Brazil, but he claims he's in the year 2027, I believe, right? And he basically makes a TikTok series where he's the last man in the world, and people are sending him messages in Spanish, like go into a police station. The guy goes into a police station, steal a police car. He goes into a police car, and people have so many theories. But the guy claims that he's trapped in 2027. But the thing that's so bizarre about it, these messages on certain landmarks, and people who are on TikTok who follow him, they go to these specific landmarks and they find the messages that he's left for them.
Well, but that could be predetermined.
That too, that's what I'm saying. But I think time travel is going to be possible in the next 15 years from now, and people can go back. I think there's a machine out there that actually is in the works. I could be wrong, but
what about if I said to you I was a time traveler?
Oh, I'm sorry. What was that?
What about if I said to you that I was a time traveler?
I mean,
and that I'd predetermined all of this conversation, got pissed. I did all this predetermined, hence why I'm so sober, because I knew what was going to happen.
Yeah.
What would you say to that?
I would say that's pretty awesome.
Yeah, I mean, nice. I do a VR show, and occasionally I do a little thing where I send pictures where it's my face edited over famous moments in history. Um, so far, I've lost a boxing match to Muhammad Ali. Fucking sucked, you know. First man on Everest, that was me. Won the fucking snooker championships in 1968. I did that. There's numerous pictures. I'll send them you. I've time traveling myself. It's called editing. Heavy editing.
Yeah, I actually like that. I mean, did you ever see the show 11/22/63?
Yeah, I
That
did.
that's something that would be pretty awesome. Like there's a rabbit hole somewhere. And I made shows like that. I made a series like that. I did a series what was called Dimension X, where I go into a different dimension, but I meet my evil twin, and my evil twin comes into our world, and since we're the same, nobody knows who is who, and that's what I created. But
That's crazy. That's cool, man. Do you know, I have an evil twin, and he's literally lurking in America, and he's got two perfect working feet, which is crazy, because he left me with this gammy, fucked up foot, and just schlepped off, basket case style, yeah? He just left me with this fucked up foot and said, listen, I'm going to Hollywood. See you later. He left me to it. Prick. With this little fucked up foot.
there you go.
Have you seen him?
No.
Nah. Well, if you see him, just give me a shout. He owes me fucking, he owes me 2 toes. Which is crazy thing to say.
Yeah.
Yeah, he owes me 2 toes. It's fucked up though, man. It's crazy. It's crazy life we live on this spinning ball. You know. Do you know what's crazy is obviously at the center of the Earth is obviously an iron core. And apparently it's bending and warping to certain different areas, which is bizarre. So it's no longer like a sphere. It's almost coming off its axis and going like oval-like, which is
Really?
kind of, yeah, it's hella scary when you really think about it. Hella scary.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
If you could go to the center of the Earth, who would you take with you? You had you have a 3-man team, including yourself, so you can take 2 people. Who would you take?
Take my fiance and probably one of my friends.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. Shit.
Yeah. Just because it's life changing, and that's what I do. That's what I'm doing now with my channel, with my YouTube channel. I made a bucket list of 200 things to do before I die and go into space.
Ooh.
But yeah, I have some changing things I want to do before I die.
How many you ticked off?
None.
Ah. Well, what's the easiest?
The easiest?
Mm-hmm.
Buy the most expensive cup of coffee.
What? Buy the most expensive cup of coffee?
Yep.
That's the easiest?
Probably.
Man.
I mean, I used to have a shaved head. I want to get a buzz cut eventually. I mean, I have a lot of weird. Some are pointless, but some are actually kind of cool, and it's all on my phone. But
So one of your essential bucket list is to shave your head.
yeah,
So then do it.
probably tomorrow.
No, right. Do it right now. Come on, man.
If I had
Do it.
clippers,
Do it like you get clippers. You not. Do you not own clippers?
just a shitty razor. That's it.
Oh, we could have done something good there.
Yeah.
Do you know? I wish if I was a street away, I would have run around and cut your fucking hair off. Again, as someone who is literally shaving their hair daily, That would have been fantastic.
Yeah, but I'm doing it all on my YouTube though. I'm doing like bucket list challenges. I'm just filming my life around, putting, you know what I mean. I'm not really even doing. I don't even want to do any more storytelling. I'm just doing more, film what I can.
There's got to be something that you can do right now. Off your bucket list, there's got to be. It'd be impossible. You said there's 200 things.
200 things, but most of them require travel. Some do, some don't.
Well, there's always something, my friend.
I don't know.
I know, me neither. But again, I'm a wild guy. If there was some crazy, I don't know. Maybe I could set my arm on fire in here. That'd be pretty wild. What are you gonna do to match that? I've got some carb cleaner that I'm looking at right now. I'll set. I don't fuck about on this show, man. It's very loose. You'll see me now rolling my sleeves up. How are you gonna match that?
Oh, that's.
There's a way. You've got. Listen, this is your bucket list.
I probably set my pants on fire on my shirt.
Some double fucking flames.
Fire. I'll take this big piece right now of my long hair, set it on fire.
Whoa. Okay, we're getting somewhere. Okay, let me get. All right, let's do it, my friend. Listen. Here you go. You see that? It's carb cleaner. It's literally pure petrol in a fucking can. Literally petrol in the can. So that's there. I don't fuck about in this show. Listen, this is a very loose show. It's extremely loose.
What laws have you broken though?
What, the what walls?
Laws.
What, like the fourth wall?
Yeah, I guess you said you broke a lot of laws on your show.
No, what? I said that? Did I? No, I think I said that I broke a lot of I don't know, fuck knows. Laws at the start. Yeah, because I smoke weed. I smoke cannabis. It's illegal in this country completely.
Oh, really? I didn't know that. Okay.
Yeah, completely illegal. That's why I smoke it. But again, you're play the game. You're gonna play the game. Listen, this might be the only ever Patreon video that I do. So far, I do audio. This one might be worthy of money, because you know.
Yeah.
All right. Let's put that out. Well, that's a shitty piece of alcohol. So you're going to do what, and I'm going to do what? Well, I know what I'm going to do. So
I don't even know at this point.
Seems like you're backing out, my friend. I've got my fucking industrial can of petrol. Look, literally, it says fucking petrol on the can as well. It's crazy. Made in Belgium, apparently.
Wow, really?
Well, that's what it says. Winds, air intake, and carburetor cleaner. Actually, thinking about it. I don't know. Could get dangerous. Maybe if I had a bucket of water that I could purge into, you know. I might lose half my arm. Yeah, this is again, it's a loose show, but we have to play some sort of, you know, we don't want to set off the new trend of purging yourself with a fucking carburetor cleaner. So it could be fun.
Could be.
Well, could be. Seems like fun to me, but
that's going to be the new trend, and people are going to like actually get really dangerous, and we'll be in
yeah.
trouble.
Well, I feel just the fact that I mentioned it is probably bad enough. But I also feel the fact that I puss it out in a sense. You know, I
Yeah.
can't mention something and not do it, but it's a two-way street, man. You said you're gonna burn half your head off. That's that's I'd love to again. I'll see that fucking site, and that'd be a fantastic. It'd be great viewership, but we're not going to do that. Not on this show. We'll maybe next time.
There you go.
Mate, that you see, that's what you do. You scoop them in. But I'll tell you what, next time when I'm not in a wooden surrounding that might burn me to a crisp, we'll do another show. And again, I can do pyrotechnics, so it doesn't mean fuck all to me. It's a fun fact that you're just going to learn there. Probably shouldn't have divulged that. Shit. But no, I can do pyrotechnics, and it means fuck all. But the next show, we'll blast it. But anyway, let me drink some of this root beer. Root beer, are you going to sponsor me? No. You're just going to rot my fucking teeth. Okay.
There you go.
That's true though, isn't it? It's a good drink, but it fucking fucks up your gums.
Yeah.
Say thing. Let's crack another one open. Again, this has probably been the loosest show I've had. It's just been literally a physical conversation.
And that's what I do with my show as well.
It's good. Give some shout out to your shows, because again, I feel like I keep speaking too much. It's, I try and save my voice as well, which is fucked up.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Whenever I do my show, I just basically just do strictly conversations or talk about current events or something that pisses me off. I just go on a tangent.
What's your thoughts on Sleepy Joe Biden? Because apparently he's breaking apart right now.
Oh, he is so bad. Man, it's not even funny.
Well, you laughed. It's kind of funny.
I don't. Okay, so I have a couple things I have on my mind. So, for example, people were so pissed at Trump for getting, because COVID came and he was the president. And they say he's racist, this, that, and third. But Joe Biden said the same shit back then.
Joe Biden, if anything, is more racist.
Oh yeah.
I'm not judging that by my own opinion. I'm judging that by my own opinion based upon physical evidence that I've seen. But sorry, carry on.
Basically, everyone was so afraid of COVID, and they're saying they're going to get the vaccine. More people who supported Trump, I feel, have gotten the vaccine than people who support Biden, because Biden said he's trying to get everybody vaccinated. But people who are for Biden haven't gotten and they said they're going to get vaccinated, but they haven't gotten vaccinated at all. They're simply afraid. Let's see. Yeah, he's just doing bad. A lot of people who support him, they say they want him out. Gas prices have skyrocketed to the point where gas is like, in the United States, there's no gas in certain places. Like it's $3.14 a gallon to the gallon to get gas.
Bastard.
Takes me like $30 to get my whole tank filled completely. And it used to take me like maybe 15, maybe 20 at the most, depending on how much gas I use. Now it's like $30 to get gas. That's almost 2 cases of beer.
Double, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's I mean, I can't understand the gas thing, because most of that comes from Saudi Arabia.
Yeah.
There was a brief time where, in history, and it's a fact, that they fucked around a lot with gas. I'm not saying they're doing it now. I don't have a fucking clue. But there was a moment in history where there was literally fucking screwing people and manipulating the dollar to whatever it was, liter of gas. I don't fucking know. Um, but I can't understand why COVID would have affected the gas because, it's very strange.
Yeah, it is. Just this whole world is strange. It's getting stranger by the minute.
Watch this again. I truly think technology is advancing.
Oh, it is.
Um, what do you think would be the scariest thing about technology to the modern day person?
Um, Taking over your brain,
Ooh, Black Mirror style.
Black Mirror style. Yep. See, I have this whole. I'm very like creative. I feel in my head, and I have a lot of things I'm going to be toying with on YouTube as well. But you know, I just don't think some people should get a hold of technology. Let's put it that way.
Under what basis? So, again, technology is so widespread. You can't even imagine the outcomes of anything. You know, pretty much anything can be replicated nowadays. They're 3D printing food, which that in itself is a huge feat of technology. What most people forget is the first sheep was cloned by the UK government in, I think it was 91 or 94, but it was Dolly the sheep. And that was like essentially almost 20 years ago. You know? And if people were doing physical, and it's literally recorded. And if people could do that cloning 20 years ago, what the fuck advancements have we got now? We've always known that the military are 10 years, 15 years ahead. That's kind of a certain myth in a way, but it's kind of true. But I personally don't know what's going to happen. I can make guesses, but they're so very poor and I don't know, maybe controversial. But I have a 2-year-old and he's going to grow up into this next world. You know what I mean?
Is we're ever going to be in a zombie apocalypse?
Well, a zombie apocalypse will be different. I think I'd do pretty well in the zombie apocalypse.
Oh, I would.
It's only because I have a multitude of weapons. I've got an old antique scythe that is fucking sharp as hell. It is 110 years old. And it is still to the day very sharp. I don't ever sharpen it. I don't even touch it. One, because if I catch myself on the blade, it might give me some weird disease from tetanus or some shit. You know what I mean? But super sharp. So if the zombies come, I'm cool. I'm pretty good. I'll burn them. I'll burn them all to death. You know. I've got this kind of exclusive carb cleaner. And I'll burn them all to pieces rather than my own arm. So, what would you do if the zombies come?
I probably would. I have a sword. I used to do karate for about 12 years, so I have a sword that, could beat the shit out of somebody or, slice the shit out of a zombie's head.
You ever, fuck, what's the name? You ever thought? Excuse me. I'm not even going to say that because I can't remember the name of what it's called. You ever thought about entering the Kumakinte with your sword?
No,
You know what that is?
no.
It's a load of bollocks for a start. It's like a well, I'm probably butchering it, but it's almost like an elite mythological sort of tournament, like Mortal Kombat. You know?
Is it?
Yeah. You ever thought about going and doing Mortal Kombat? If Shang Tsung sent you a letter in the post and go, here we go. There's going to be a boat. It's going to pick you up 3 days. We're going to fucking whatever it is, Sung Island. Yeah, and you're the champion of the Earth. What would you do then?
Fight to the death.
All right, your first opponent is let's see, because there's more. Do you know what pisses me off with the films? They always stick with the main characters, and they very rarely intercross genders. So your first fucking opponent is Sonya Blade, hot as hell, banging tits. She's doing a shit, and you're fighting for the Earth, but for some reason she is too, and you get pitted in Mortal Kombat. How would
Right.
you deal with that situation without her wrapping her legs around your face and smothering you to death?
I don't know. To be honest, that's a deep question.
That's what she said.
Ugh. Ugh.
That was a real question. I felt like it was, how would you fight Sonya Blade? How would you deal with her?
I would try my best just to win. Be honest.
Well, if I was in that tournament, I would personally act a bit like Kano, you know, because he's got that sort of fuck you kind of attitude. And apart from the fact that he got his neck broken by Sonya Blade, which was his own foolishness because he was trying to play some sort of stupid arsehole, you'd probably win 10 times out of 10, you know?
Yeah.
It's that was the first round, by the way. What about if you had to deal with Smoke? He was a smokish character, you know. You can't see him; he's popping out of the shadows. And how would you deal with him?
I'd
Round.
use my hearing.
Mm.
I would use my hearing to see if I could see footsteps, this, that, and the third. And that's the thing. Like, if you're fighting in the dark, you have to know. You have to use your ears.
You ever seen the? You a fan of Samurai Jack?
I've seen a few episodes.
There's an episode early on where he uses hearing to overcome some sort of Anubis blind bowman. So that's sort of the same thing.
Is it?
I don't know. Seems it to me. That's how you'd kind of overdo them.
Gotcha.
Again, these are all loose questions.
Oh, I know.
Very, very loose. So you've done Sonya Blade. You kind of beat up Smoke, and then you get to Shao Kahn, the fucking Mac Daddy with his fucking huge fucking hammer and his ha 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 ha, his ghastly fucking laugh, and for some fucking reason. You can't ever fucking beat him because he's a prick and he's got this fucking stupid green shadow fist and he fucks you up all the time. How would you beat him?
I could tire his ass out.
You what?
I want to make him tired. You got to make him tired, and you got to go for certain things that hurt him more, or that get his chances. Like maybe his feet.
Mm.
You have to go for his feet because then you can't come at
Yeah.
you know.
But he has them fucking spiky shin guards, which is the problem. He's you almost have to get him from behind in a way. But even then, he's fucking quick, and then he backhands you with that stupid fucking hammer. Bear in mind, I'm basing all of this upon a game. This isn't real life. I'm basing this all upon MK3.
Exactly.
You know? But he always he catches you every time. But you know, you won anyway. Who cares? Again, who gives a fucking shit? It's just all bullshit, you know? Again, this is probably one of the most loosest conversations I've had.
God, yeah.
It's kind of why I'm glad I'm in my studio now, where I can smoke and I can drink and just genuinely chat some bullshit rather than have a script. Because people, for some fucked up reason, love genuine conversations. Bizarre.
Yeah,
So like, bizarre.
I feel like scripted things are too commercial, I feel like.
Yeah, I had some brief notes on my last show, and I didn't drink, and I wished I did, because it would have been gold. It would have been amazing. But I was like, man, these have got a really good podcast. Let's write 1 billion notes. Didn't use half of them. This, to be honest, this is more of an insight into how podcasting actually is. You know,
yeah.
I wrote 1 billion notes. I used half of them, and then it was a great show. It was fucking fantastic. But I was always constantly looking for my notes to find the next topic. You know.
Yeah.
And that kind of slowed my own progress in a way. Sorry, I've got to put my own lights on. It's getting dark and gloomy. Woo! Look at that. Boom. We're now lit up.
There you go.
Yeah, man. I love it. I no longer look sinister as well, which is it seems to be a huge problem, is that occasionally when I podcast, I look really sinister because half my face is in shadow, you know.
That's what makes a good video podcast, too.
What, when it looks like I represent the Joker? I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't buy into that.
Yeah.
You ever seen Watchmen?
Never seen Watchmen.
Well, you should watch it. It's no pun intended. No, it's a shit joke in itself. I wasn't even intending it. It's a fantastic film. The Watchmen is one of my all-time. I'm a huge comic book fan, but lately, Marvel is a bit, you know. Especially since they got on the whole cancel culture movement, and no disrespect because all the films are going to be good, but Thor turned into a women's for everything. It's all women orientated. The next several films, and it's kind of shit in a way. It's kind of needed, but you can't go and turn, you know, Chris Hemsworth into a woman.
Exactly.
Sorry, what'd you say?
No, I'm saying I'm agreeing with you.
I mean, I don't know how. I don't even know who they're going to replace him with, but even if it was the most banging woman on the planet, I would rather watch Chris Hemsworth rocking his own shit, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, I would.
almost a bit of a gay comment. Yeah. Nah, nah, I'm joking. It's I love that. I gotta laugh. You have to event. You know, you have to. I don't know. Nah, to be honest, it's a very weird thing. There's Thor is Thor. That's all I'm saying. I know they're gonna do several works. I've not seen the new Loki yet. That's meant to be pretty cool. They've put it on Disney Plus. Have you seen that yet?
No, I've been wanting to. I'm actually probably gonna watch that in a little bit.
Yeah, I might have to. Well, I'm not going to get a chance tonight, but certainly going to watch it. Jesus, that camera is so fucking low.
I have a fun little story. So, my fiance just messaged me saying that like something happened downstairs. So I'm in my second bedroom. She said I'm sitting here with the dogs, and the lamp just dims and it brightens up again. So maybe
You think there's some ghostly footings?
Listen, I've been here for about. Let's see. I moved in February. It's now June. Nothing. I haven't seen one crazy thing or scary thing in my place. So
Well,
adventures.
do you know what's crazy? Is there's either people that see it and heavily believe, or there's people that kind of see it but are skeptical, which is so fucked up. Because, you know, my partner, she doesn't believe in aliens, she don't believe in ghosts, but there's been so many fucking so many moments. And I'm like, do you not believe in it yet? Are you fucking crazy? Like, there was a moment, like I said, several weeks ago, probably about a month ago now, where I was doing a podcast in my kitchen with a friend. I had to move from my bedroom to my kitchen and then eventually to the studio. And I was doing it in my kitchen, and I was having an intermission where I'd go, because again, I don't smoke indoors. So what I'd do is I used to have an intermission, I'd go out for a spliff. And basically I went out, and like I said, there was a black shadowy thing in the sky doing some weird, elaborate, fucked up pattern. It was literally going, it was like doing like a triangular figure of 8, you know? So if you can imagine the number 8, but triangular. Yeah. And it was kind of doing that. And immediately, because me and my partner joke about aliens a lot, because I think she is one. We'll get to that in a minute. But I ran upstairs and I was like, babe, come look at this, quick. And obviously she come down and there was fuck all there by that point, which was very disappointing. But the reason I joke about it a lot, about my partner being an alien. Because if you watch Ancient Aliens, they did an episode on the rhesus negative gene, which is basically like a blood group, which is RH negative, whatever it is. I don't know what the fuck it is. I'm not smart enough to remember the full, you know. But basically, she was part of. I'd watched this episode, and I was like, oh yeah, this is interesting. And then, like, we went to hospital, and they spoke about a blood group. And then they mentioned it, and I looked at her, like, because she knows I'm always joking about and I'm full of shit. But I looked at her literally when she was giving birth and they was mentioning it. And I was like, are you an alien? Literally midway through giving birth. To the point where, like, half of the fucking people in the labour room burst out laughing. And it was a great moment. That was then foreshadowed by, again, giving birth. But there's a conspiracy that the rhesus negative gene is like not from this planet, and it's it basically comes from the Basque region of France, and it turns out she's from that region, and we have a constant running joke that she's an alien. Even though I technically, with my fucked up foot, am more alien than her.
Yeah.
It's a long story, though.
Well, we were eating food earlier, and I'm actually getting really hungry at the moment. You want me to talk about a few things before I head out of here?
Yeah, you can. Yeah, man. Absolutely. I'm pretty hungry myself. So, yeah, again, this is a loose show. If you want to promote your shows, we can end up. It's cool.
Cool, yeah. So basically, I do a podcast, TJTV. I've been doing it for 6 years. I do tons of interviews, pretty much I try to do it 3 days a week. If I can't, then I do an episode a week, and I basically talk about random topics, kind of like me and you just did. I have a vlog channel, TJ's Vlogs. That's TJAYSVOLGS, and I basically film my life around, do a few creative series, and then the Spear Project, which we talked about earlier in the show. I may not even work with this guy just because it's not a partnership. I may just do it myself because, me and you have talked about that as well. But that's more focused on haunted and abandoned places as well.
Yeah, well, okay. I'll tell you what. I'll edit most of this out. This will be normal conversation. Let me just do this one thing. Well, this was the Post-Human Podcast, folks. Today we've been here with TJ from TJTV, a fucking legendary guest. He didn't speak much, but however, we almost set ourselves on fire, and maybe the next show we will.
There you go. Thanks.
Yeah, I'll just put that in. Now we can just keep chatting shit. See